Hey guys, we're live. We're live.
Hey.
We're here.
Yeah.
This is Carolina Liga Pita.
Yeah.
She and I and Noah.
Hey, how's it going?
Are in
Mbepi.
Mbepi. Population 125,000 and counting. We were talking about that yesterday. We are actually currently in the waiting room, and I'll see people who are sort of being issued numbers there. Currently. Can you explain a little bit more about what's happening, Carolina?
Yeah, we are in the reception room, particularly in the reception center, and particularly in the waiting room. They are trying to get their numbers to go and get the attestation cards registered, and they're collecting their biodata. So, particularly right now, what they are getting is the numbers so that they can line up in the registration room for their attestation cards. So after here, there are quite few today, but yesterday there were quite a number of them. Dennis was here, Daniels was here to witness, and after this, they'll go aside.
So yeah, this is one of the many parts of the process that we sort of have witnessed over the last few days. What are the names of the first areas, Noah? Like, what's the first areas that get called into?
So first what happens is people, when they cross the border from South Sudan, there's a reception center there, then they do some small registration there, then they're actually brought down here on buses, and yesterday we got to witness the buses being unloaded and everyone coming out. They get their hands washed, and then they start going through this process of checking for health issues, vaccinations if they need. Here they're actually going through this process of
Oh, there we are. Okay, guys, sorry. So listen, I should make a little bit of a disclaimer and an apology. There is absolutely no signal out at Mbepi. Isn't that right? Isn't that right? No signal. So it's telling me right now my connection is weak. So unfortunately, if you lose us, you lose us, and we'll just keep trying to get back. Anyway, I wish I could begin to talk about the last few days. It's been crazy, beautiful. I'm like, this is amazing. And it's kind of the end of the day here, thank God, because the heat's almost too much to believe. We got a little buddy down there. Noah, tell me something. Talk to me about what you think. What do you remember most from today?
We had a really interesting experience. We got to see a drama group that's teaching people about good hygiene, which was really nice. Hygiene is hugely important. This is a place where, for a long period of time, thousands of people a day were coming here into the settlement. Now it's down to just 200 a day. If you think about, organizing a place for people to stay 200 each and every day, one after the other, feeding them, cooking them hot food every day, it's an enormous undertaking that the government of Uganda with NGOs here like Oxfam, UNHCR are doing. It's been really remarkable. And Carol's here on the front lines, seeing in and out every day what's going on.
Yes, we've been so honored to have Daniel with
Stop
us.
it.
And
She's lying. I paid her.
It's really been a great honor, even for the refugees. The children liked him so much, they sang him songs.
I'm not going to put the camera on me because I'm blushing.
He loved everything that took place, and they were so appreciative of everybody's efforts. And now Daniel's here, our ambassador. We are so grateful. The children are so grateful. The women are so grateful, like Noah has already said. They were super excited seeing them around, and the whole team that came alongside with them.
I'm wondering what else we should say. Caroline, can you tell us a little bit about what you do here, like what your job is here?
I do hygiene promotion, actually. I'm a public health promotion officer with Oxfam, and we work so much with the refugees. Actually, we work with them. We work so much with the local structures. We have people whom we call the hygiene promoters, and these, we elect them within the community themselves. So they are able to influence the others, they're able to influence their community members. And Daniels has had a time to meet one of the hygiene promoters who has been so influential. At least now we've had some hygiene step-ups. For example, the household latrines. People are really coming up with their latrines. We give them the water. So it's basically hygiene promotion, but then with the water and sanitation and all that.
Yeah, in short, she's a rock star. Speaking of rock stars, I've got some other folks back here. How you doing, gentlemen? How you doing, gentlemen? They're trying to sneak into the shot. They're like Joseph Morgan, these guys. It's all just about them. How you doing? So what else can we talk about, Noah?
Maybe just to make it real. When people come here, they're really literally fleeing for their lives from South Sudan. We saw people getting off the buses yesterday with just a few possessions, maybe a blanket, maybe a cooking pot that they need, a little bit of clothes. Sometimes it's just the clothes on their back. So all those things that they need are provided right here within a couple days of their arriving. It's an enormous effort. They need food, they need water, they need shelter, and it's a really, really massive operation. But it's really underfunded. And I see some of the questions that people are asking.
We should.
What can we do to help? Right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a great thing. Okay, let's. Okay, stop. We're just choosing questions now. So wait till you see if you see something that looks like an actual question.
I saw what can we do to donate or support. There you go.
Oh, wait. Yeah, how can we donate or support? That's a great question. Actually, you can probably see the link in there. Jamise Clark. Nice spotting, man. Jamise, what you can do is you can go to represent.com/Gillies, and there's you can actually buy a T-shirt, which we're doing in conjunction with represent.com. So you purchase one of those, and you will be lending support to refugees, not only in South Sudan but also in Uganda and everywhere across Eastern Africa. Actually, that Oxfam works. So thank you for the question. I'm wondering if these guys can hear me. Can they hear me? I know. I'll speak louder. Turn us around so we've got better light. What else? Should we do another couple of questions? Thank you. Okay. Questions.
The kids are so cute.
The kids are so cute.
Agree.
Appreciate it. To help you. Thank you. Boom. Okay. Hello, Turkey. This is a great thing.
Turkey, the largest refugee hosting country in the world. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Turkey.
What else? What can we do to help? Cherie Stevens asked, what can we do to help? Well, on top of the fact that you can go to represent.com/Gillies and buy a T-shirt in this sort of fundraising campaign that we're doing right now, you can also. Trying to get us all in there. My arms are not long enough to get us all in there. There we go. Something like that. There we go. You can also just talk about it. Talk about what's happening here. Talk about it on social media. Talk about it on every media platform, whether it's Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, carrier pigeon, smoke signal, whatever you can do to talk about what's happening here. Because unfortunately, one of the biggest problems that we're all facing is that we're not, these people are not represented right now. They're real people, as you can see, with real families, and they're waiting along, long and exhaustive sort of processes in order to get what they need. Now, fortunately, the Ugandan government is being incredibly gracious in granting people plots of land. It's 50 by 50, right?
50 by 50 meters.
Plots, which is just incredible. And we're indebted to them and their efforts here, but it's not an easy task to as we know, we're just sort of stemming the flow of the crisis. We're not actually.
And the root causes.
The root causes, yeah, and the root causes which need to be fought with communication.
We're here in this remote corner. If people could see where we are, it's beautiful here. It's green. It's lush. But it is very, very remote, and there's this danger that the hundreds of thousands of people who are in settlements like this in Uganda can be easily forgotten, tucked away in this corner. So use your voice, talk about it, echo the voices and magnify the voices of the people here. Each one of these people you see are literally 1 in a million. There's 1 million refugees now from South Sudan in Uganda. So each one of these you see is really 1 in a million. Each has a different story. Each has experienced something different that brought them here. And each has a different hope, a dream for the future. So use that voice. Talk about it. Talk about the fact that people need assistance here. They also need a home to go back to. They need the ability to go home. They need peace in their country. And everyone, I think, that we've spoken to over the last few days has said that. They said the international community has got to come in and help us and help our leaders to make peace.
I'm going to try something. I'm going to hand this off. You want to hold it? So I'm going to hold it. If you get hung up on, I'll call you back, all right? I sound like I'm talking to my wife now. You want to hold it? You can hold it. She doesn't want to You want to hold it? You can hold it.
You hold.
You can hold it. What time is dinner? What time is dinner served?
It should be on the table by now.
Does anybody want to hold it? No one wants to hold it. So yeah, we went out into the encampments today. We looked everywhere. We met with different families. Obviously, like 95% or something of the population is South Sudanese. Today, one of the most troubling things was that a lot of the families that we met had lost their homes. There was a flooding down in an encampment near the where the settlement was sort of next to a riverbed, and 120 homes were washed away, right? So they had to set up shop over the other side of the river. The tricky thing is with the plots of land too. Sometimes it's a bit of luck of the draw because a lot of a lot of the people from South Sudan are farmers, like Ugandans, but if the soil's really rough, then they can't yield any food, and of course it takes a little while to get the food, so they're sort of stuck in it in a lot of ways, But again, like every dollar of yours counts, and one of the major things, this is one of the reasons I adore Oxfam, is one of the major things that they fight for is sanitation and clean water, and that's a big one. I mean, yesterday we went into a bore site where they've actually set up a generator that's both electrically powered, solar and diesel. Anyway, and what was the price of it? Like it's around $57,000 US for one of them. And they need 15 to generate they said 10, then they said 15 for the settlement to have like clean running water.
But if we don't do that, it costs $400,000 a month to truck the water, which is what we're doing now. So this long-term investment can be used for the refugees while they're here, can be used to support the host community, the Ugandan community that's living around the edges of the settlement. But the funding isn't there. The entire response for refugees in South Sudan is just about 17% funded. The international community hasn't stepped up. I see the people saying love from Germany, love from France. Tell your countries, tell your governments to give to this response. Your money, your support is really important as well. But really, it's the money from the governments. It's the rich countries in the West and everywhere that really need to pony up. Uganda's given the land, they've given the support, they've given so much. The people here are being supported by amazing Ugandan NGOs, local organizations that are helping people here with support from international NGOs like Oxfam. If the money doesn't come in, there's only so much that can be done. People are incredibly strong, they're resilient, they're brave. A lot of the people we've spoken to have been displaced multiple times by this conflict. But they need food, they need assistance, they need water, and it's just not enough yet. But we can impact that, we can make that change.
What would you add to that?
Yeah, we really want to thank everybody who has put in a hand, who has given everything. Like we've already said, every single, even talking about us, talking about the refugees, really, really helps. It counts to their lives, supporting them, especially with water and sanitation. That's the biggest outcry. Everybody needs the water to survive. Everywhere you go, we are supporting water, but then it's really not enough. It's never been enough. There is quite a big gap that needs to be addressed. And then when we get enough funds, or when everybody comes and supports, everybody puts hands together, when we have a synergy, then we believe that the refugees as well will enjoy the kind of life that they've always been enjoying back home. Probably we could even give them a better life to have. Why here in Uganda?
I'm sorry.
I see Gulbahar from Turkey is saying, say something about us. So we have to recognize that Turkey is the #1 refugee hosting country in the world, hosting Syrians, more than 2 million Syrians, doing amazing work there. But in Uganda, it's the #1 refugee hosting country in all of Africa, hosting more than 1.2 million refugees, mostly from South Sudan, like the people we've been seeing here. So there's just an enormous amount of generosity. While all around the world, countries are more and more slamming their doors on refugees, saying refugees aren't welcome. Uganda is a living example that refugees are welcome, refugees are being supported here, but we just need that solidarity from the international community.
Tanya, there's a couple of places you can send the money, but I would just go directly to this campaign here. You'll probably see that on there should be a log line thing here saying represent.com/Gillies. Just go to that. And the donation is essentially, I'm selling T-shirts. I'm trying to create a conversation here. I think that's the most important thing too. Is that I don't just want this to be a finite campaign. I want it to be, about people, and I want it to be about these people, and I don't want it to just be a conversation that ends at the end of a T-shirt campaign. You know what I mean? I want it to be something that is lasting. So I appreciate your question, but if you go to represent.com/Gillies, then you'll see. I'm selling T-shirts there, and I think they're dynamite. We just finished them last night at 4 a.m. in the morning, so of course I think that. But go make a purchase and see help to contribute. What do I send the money? What do you first start to pay? Same question. I love you. I'm just scrolling questions. This is actually kind of what a lot of Facebook Live is. Scrolling questions. I love that it's working out here. Oh yeah, what did I say? Hello from Denmark. Hello Heidi from Denmark. What happened to those children? 2 kids. Will this assistance continue? It's an interesting question, Tanisha. Will this assistance continue for these people? How would you feel?
Tanisha, it's a great question. The organizations that are here are absolutely committed to making sure that assistance continues. But we need help. It's about solidarity. It's about getting the support. What happens when there's not enough funding is really difficult choices are made. So almost all these kids will tell you that back home they were in school or preparing to go to school, and right here, right now, the schools are just being set up, and the funding really isn't there for a proper education response. When you only have limited funds, you just go for the essentials. You go for the food, you go for the water, you go for the shelter. But life is so much more than that. To make sure these children have the future. And we talked to so many people today who said, we were fleeing the conflict, and I brought my kids here because I thought in Uganda they'd have a chance to go to school because the war interrupted their studies in South Sudan. And if there's not enough funding, education is the first thing that's going to get cut. So we really, really hope that with support we can make sure that they get the assistance they need.
What do you think, Caroline? What else we got? Should we pull up another question? Get in here, Noah. What do you think? And my money, I'll be there. Put the camera on.
Less of us.
Tiffany Witherspoon said, put the camera on the kids. Done. Actually, Tiffany, what I've been asking them to do is hold it, and none of the kids will hold it. It's like they're frightened of it. I don't blame them.
Manchester United didn't want to hold, but maybe Chelsea will support. Can you hold? No.
You hold.
Isn't that Camille? Jacqueline. This is Jacqueline.
Hey, Jacqueline. Can we ask Jacqueline how old she is? How old are you, Jacqueline? She's 6 years old. Are any of these your brothers and sisters? Any brothers and sisters? Where's your mother?
Who want to hold? You want to hold? The mother is sick.
Oh, sorry.
They don't know.
Okay. It's so amazing. It just makes them so shy. They're courageous all day long, yelling insults at me, and then suddenly it's an issue. Hi, Daniel from Texas. Hi, Texas. Hey, I want to introduce you to my friend. This is Jackie over here. This is Jackie. Hi. Jackie's one of the most amazing crusaders for Oxfam. She brought me into the fold with this. I'm trying to think about what I can ask you, Jackie. No one has a way of let's look to see if we can find a question that you like. So I'm just going to scroll. Yeah, those ones you can disregard. Where exactly are you? Set to purchase a t-shirt, you can donate more. How can I help in person? I mean by doing something.
How can I help in person?
That's a nice question, yeah.
So how can I help in person? It's a great question.
And I just need to preface it with, it's from Svenja Kaj. How can I help in person?
there are so many things you can do just right where you are. I mean, they've talked a lot about donating, buying a t-shirt, but we also have a toolkit where you can host a hunger banquet, where you can help expose some of the food insecurity and food inequality around the world. It's really neat. You can bring your friends together, very informal, and just have a dialogue about hunger, learn a little bit more, and then decide together how you guys can do more. I think that's a great thing you could do immediately with your friends.
Rock and roll. So we had another question, and I'm just going to delegate somebody. Daniel, okay. All right, guys, more questions, less hearts. This is a Kiwi soul. Okay. All right. Canada. This is so sweet. Okay, so when do we think the conflict will be resolved? That's an excellent question, Miriam. That's such a tricky question to answer. I mean, the greatest thing in the world would be for the conflict to be resolved. I'm going to let Noah field this because I'm not smart enough.
Thanks, Daniel, for the easy question. It's something that Oxfam works on, thinks about every single day, and obviously so do all these people here. This conflict has been going on since 2013, but it's happening in a country that's been experiencing war for decades. We're doing everything we absolutely can, providing humanitarian assistance in South Sudan and in the countries that refugees have fled from, but we're also trying to work with governments to encourage them to support peace in the country. It's really a question of political will. None of these people here want the conflict to continue. There's no good guys and bad guys. There's no side that people support. They just want peace. They want to be able to go home, to farm, to go to school, to get educated, to have jobs, to get married, have kids. And there's a lot that you can do. Why isn't there more of an international outcry to bring peace to South Sudan? There was when the war broke out in 2013. There was attention, there was support, and it's just faded. People aren't talking about it, so you can talk about it. Use your voice. There's a lot. I see Norhan there from Egypt. Egypt can play a huge role in bringing peace to South Sudan. Working with Sudan and other countries in the region, there's an enormous amount that Egypt can do. So many of us are so blessed to come from countries that have a positive role that we can play, that are powerful, that really can help these guys come together and find a peaceful solution, because it can't go on anymore. There's so much that needs to be done. We can't have weapons flooding in. We can't have people continuing to be displaced. So please, use your voice.
That was awesome. I'm not sure what is. Doesn't make. That was a 12 out of 10. That was like perfect. Did this lady want to speak? What were you saying? She wants to speak? Yeah, sure. What is? What's that?
She says she's Rosajiba.
Rosajiba. Nice to meet you.
She says she gave birth for this baby on the way. The child is 1 week and she has a lot of problems.
Okay.
She gave birth 1 week ago. Her weight is 75. The child has nothing, so people give her this to cover the child. So also she's given some clothing.
Okay.
Everything is different.
Can you? By the way, I need to introduce you to Jean, who's one of our incredible translators, and Mercy behind her is our other translator. If you guys can say hi. When did she arrive at the settlement? How long has she been here?
She came today.
She came today. Okay. Does she feel relieved that she is here? I mean, does she feel she's in a better situation?
So she says she just arrived and everything's difficult.
Yes.
Her way, there's workshops, get back on the way, so all things are difficult for her.
Of course.
She has not get help yet.
Okay. Does she expect that she's going to receive help anytime soon? Can we provide it with, like, once we finish this? We'll make certain that she gets some help. As soon as we finish this, we'll make sure that you get some help. Okay? I promise you. Okay. We'll make sure. And she has a newborn. I mean, I think that's important to see. You know, it's like, I mean, people are being hurled from their homes, and I think that's the thing that we're forgetting. I mean, the most staggering thing that I heard yesterday was, you know, the figure of 83%. Which was that 83% of the inhabitants of the refugee camps are women and children. You know, and that's the number, and the burden is just so huge. Also, the number of unaccompanied minors is exponential as well. So there's children that need, you know, that obviously are in dire need of sort of foster care. Luckily, they have provision for that. And actually, one of the most surprising things about the settlement is just how organized it is. Like, there's a whole database, there's a whole system in place, making certain that children who are disenfranchised actually can find a place with sort of willing parents, you know. And that's actually kind of super encouraging. I didn't dream that it would look this organized and structured. And, you know, to be fair, when you arrive here, it's got to be utterly terrifying, thinking that, you know, no one can help. She's also got a newborn, you know.
Yeah, one of the things that's so beautiful is you can imagine yourself in what's probably the worst moment of your life, fleeing, leaving all your things behind, leaving your family behind, leaving everything you know behind, and you hear so many people say, oh, how many people in your household? They say 7. These 6 are my children, but this one I found along the way, or this one needed my assistance, so I took them in. People are still so generous, so kind, and are just opening their homes and sharing the teeny little bit that they have with people who are even more in need than they are. That's something that we also see inside South Sudan as well, in the parts of the country that are recently have been experiencing famine. People with almost nothing are sharing what they have with people who have literally nothing. And what it really just shows is that these incredible people just deserve better leadership than what they're getting from their leaders in South Sudan. And the international community needs to stand up there and push for a peaceful solution.
Amen to that. Okay, guys, well, we got pretty lucky today. I think we're going to wrap it up because it looks like our signal's about to die. Thank you all for joining us. This was a test drive today, and actually we only fell off the map like once. Okay, yeah. So hopefully we see you all tomorrow. Are we doing another one tomorrow? I think we are, right? Okay. The joke was that today we had to stand in this one spot because we're pretty restricted. So we're all sort of huddled in the corner around the one spot of reception that we can receive in the whole camp. So hopefully tomorrow we have a little bit more maneuverability. But thank you all for hanging out with us. And tomorrow will be another day in this incredible experience. So thank you all so much. And goodbye. I don't know where I'm...